Hello everybody and welcome to another Beyond All Reason video. Today we are on Hades Ponds with another 1v1. This time it is Shirakawa again. I'm hoping I pronounced that one better this time. They are playing Cortex today and they did pretty well in that last match versus Raxel, lasting a very long time. So we'll see how they deal today against Eno over here playing Armada. Eno with 47 OS. Shirakawa has 34. You'll have to bear with me. I'm trying to make sure I pronounce that one correctly. But yeah. Starting off with a vehicle start. Now, Eno has a bit of an interesting start position here. As we can see, positioned right in the corner. This is going to make it extremely long for them to expand all the way up here to these set of mexes at the top. Now, this map is traditionally played as a team map. However, you do often see the same start here as the red player here, or sometimes even here. Or even this one here as a good place to start, because especially this position here gives you a pretty strong defensive angle because of the cliff there, and then you're only pushing out like two directions basically. With this position here, you in essence have your base to defend from three directions, which makes things a little bit more difficult. Now, Shirakawa's scout gets picked up early, and now the blitzes are on the way out from Eno. We'll see how Shirakawa manages to deal with it. Oh, the blitzes aren't pushing, actually, waiting for more reinforcements. Now, Shirakawa has placed the scout at the top here in a pretty decent spot here to keep an eye out for expansion, just to kind of give a bit of a warning when Eno is expanding, which is good play. Now, 3 incisors versus 3 blitzes and a scout, choosing not to fight that one metal extractor. Now, the con is pretty safe up here, so that's fine. The scout may end up coming round the back here, so you may have to build an LLT up there. But so far, doing some good pressure here, Eno. Trying to force Shirakawa to stay back in his base. But more and more incisors coming out. Does actually out incisor the blitzes at the moment, 5-3. Seeing a lot of posturing. Now, some good scout placement here. The LLT obviously unable to fire out of range, but due to the placement of winds here as well, and the fact that the LLT just doesn't really cover this side, able to kill that mech. Now, the commander is in base here, which deals with the problem very quickly. But so far, Eno in the lead when it comes to expansion, getting the corner mexes. Now, this is definitely a more defendable position for Eno. Eno able to basically build a couple of LLTs here, for example, or you could even wall that off if you really wanted to. And then with that, you would basically secure that entire side, meaning you can focus on just pushing upwards. Eno looking to try and grab this constructor here. Very close to succeeding at 22%, but the incisors come down just in time. And the constructor survives for now. Going back to looking at this base quickly, yeah, so that would defend that pretty well. Probably I would maybe hope for them to push to there. Maybe mean you would have to maybe do 3 LLTs to defend that line, but still, it's a pretty strong position. Hey, there you go. You can see the LLTs already actually being built by Eno here. I would have figured he would have built them in front of the metal extractor, not behind the metal extractor, but, you know, whatevs. Meanwhile, the scout gets caught out by a double LLT there on the triple mechs. Now, this space round the back now does have plenty of room to expand energy production. I'm surprised as those incisors managed to get away. Incisors now being slower than blitzes significantly. I was pretty sure there was no escaping for those incisors there, but somehow managing to get out, although they're literally basically a sneeze away from death. And even though Shirakawa has been harassed quite a bit, expansion is looking almost on par with Eno here. Now, obviously, Eno has expanded forwards a bit more than his opponent, but still, when we're on about the triple mech spots, they're almost identical. Now, I would say that Eno does have a slight bit more metal in general, as we can see here. We're talking maybe 2 metal extractors difference, which, you know, we're talking these 2 here. But Shirakawa is pushing up the center, looking to fortify probably, well, they're fortifying there as we can already see, but looking to kind of solidify something there probably, using this high ground for an LLT. And we do see a good spot here by Mado as a transition over to bots, from vehicles to Centurions has taken place, with an air transport to assist the movement of them. Now, that's kind of needed because of how slow Centurions are. It's going to be pretty difficult, and how big this map is as well. Having to transport these 45 speed is extremely slow, so you do need a way of moving them. Now, here goes Eno. One-to-one loss there, if you don't include the scout. Pulling the forces away so Eno's comm can get that energy crystals. More and more air transports being built here. Clearly going for a big Centurion push, it seems. Maybe even looking to do a air transport drop somewhere else rather than just using them for front line. Although a construction turret has been picked. Oh, I think the construction turret was a mistake to pick up. Why don't I use that APM? Yeah, see, like he's trying to pick it. I don't think he realizes that it has a con turret. Now he does. There we go. Good attack here. How far will they get? Oh, they do manage to break through, splitting off. Individual ones will switch over shortly to the Centurion drop that's about to happen. Oh, they're going straight for the comm. Shirakawa managing to degun 1 Centurion. Enough LLTs there to take out 2 more. And the 3rd one dies as well. Now, that was not where I was expecting that drop to take place. Meanwhile, we see this raid of incisors. The bottom managed to get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 metal extractors. Pretty good raid there. A lot more effective than that Centurion drop. That was a lot of metal, and the comm is at 30% health. So it was a good attempt, but think of how much damage could have been inflicted if that was dropped to, like, you know, here or down here. They could have started spreading out, getting a bunch of metal extractors, and especially with the scout managing to make it all the way to the base, you could have literally dropped them here and pretty much took out the entire base. But getting greedy and going for the comm snipe did not work out, and it looks like they're attempting that again now with the gunships, either going for a comm snipe here or trying to pick up mexes like this. But although, yes, this will, you know, give you a bit of an eco advantage for a short amount of time, it wouldn't surprise me if Shirakawa just builds an air factory of their own here and just starts going fighters, and then those gunships become useless. Having to build a metal storage, though, due to the amount of metal that they had. But look at the excess here of Eno. 1.5k metal so far accessed by Eno is a ridiculous amount of metal to have accessed. No land units either right now. As we select Eno again, you can see how much metal they've got in the bank. Now, again, this is a team map. So if you have this much metal, you either need to be pushing out a ridiculous amount of units, or you just need to go Tech 2. Like, make sure you've got the energy production for it and just go Tech 2. LFT's causing quite a bit of attrition there as they go through. 2 units really low health, 2 units dead. But they have made it past and looking to pick up some value as they move around. They will get this metal extractor, and they're looking at getting this constructor up here if they're lucky. Just skirting on the edge of the LLT. It has been spotted by Eno, so desperately running away that constructor. There's still 3 more metal extractors they're going to get freely. The metal extractors at the back here only just getting recapped, and another attempt at a Centurion drop about to take place. But now with fighters coming out for Shirakawa, it's going to be hard to see if they're actually going to get much in the way of value. Fighters already dealing with the gunships on the front, and Shirakawa here using Tidal as a way of dealing with their energy shortfall. Those tanks unable to shoot up on that hill, and Eno's comm in a particularly dangerous position here, trying to skirt away if possible. No energy to degun as we select Eno here, so you can see walking up the hill in a hope to save their life. 16% health, and actually being able to get up on the hill has saved them. Oh, the missile truck. 7% health. And the Centurions walk in, managing to save Eno's life here. Left with only 8%. Well, now going up to 8% health. The Centurions were desperately needed. And that could have been it. That could have been game. A couple of bombers now attempting to be built here, and they're gonna probably try and snipe this commander. Fighters out from both players now. Are these actually got anything in? No. But just look at expansion now. All this time, Shirakawa has just spent a single con just going up and slowly building up all the metal points. You've got 2 over here as well, just slowly spreading out, building metal points, and they are just massively getting ahead when it comes to metal produced. As we can see, the numbers now all the red at the top. Only an advantage of a couple of thousand of metal, but you gotta remember that Eno has accessed 1.5k in metal here. So although they are behind, they're behind by a couple of thousand of metal. They are also behind even more on that because they also accessed 1.5k. So It's actually bigger than it looks. That's what she said. Or more like that's what he said, but yeah. No Tech 2 though from Shirakawa or Eno right now. These incisors that were at the top finally making a bit more of an impact, taking out the LLTs defending that position, although not being microed as effectively as possible. In comes another Centurion drop on the front, but they don't quite know where the commander is, so instead they're flying around helplessly. Looks like they're going straight into the base this time. You never see air transport drops like this. It's really cool to see. Bombers have been exposed though because of that. Oh, but the Centurions are not being microed. Instantly should have been microed straight away. That should have been the thing. You could have got so much more value from this, but losing one Centurion straight away just from the bombing run. Managing to take out some build power though, that's good. Air factory will go down very quickly here. Bombing run was attempted on the commander. Commander could just cloak at this point though. With no scouts really for this bomber, Shirakawa doesn't really know where the commander is. And now at 13%. So the mistake Shirakawa is doing here is they're clicking on the comm to do the damage. What they needed to do was press like the A and then drag. I can't really show it because I don't have bomber now. But because they were trying to like actually just like click on the unit like this, as soon as it went out of vision, it was then like they would lose their target, and then that's why they wouldn't shoot. So you need to ground fire with bombers, otherwise it just doesn't work. But close, Eno's calm, very, very close to death there. More and more Centurions here are making their way forward. This was a sizable chunk of damage. Losing your air factory, you kind of need to get that back up and running pretty quick here, as you know your opponent's going to try something air related again. You see Centurions come across actual tanks though. They do get taken out pretty quickly. And a very, very sneaky bot lab down in this corner. The constructor has already been spotted though. He needed to move it a bit further in the corner. It will probably get built though before this single lasher manages to kill it. And these top mechs is dead again. So good pressure here by Eno. Shirakawa is accessing like a madman. 4.5k of, sorry, that's the army value. 2.7k of metal excess right now. That energy hit did a lot of damage. And trying to build a LLT down here to kill all that energy is quite funny. Tanks unable to do enough damage against these Centurions here with the just sheer amount of them. Definitely need the pounders closer, more in the mix here in order to be effective. A lot of the lasers though hitting the wrecks of these brutes here, not actually inflicting damage. Oh my god, that LLT did get built. That is funny. Well played, Eno there with that LLT basically making one metal extractor and all of those winds destroyed. Meanwhile, we see just a couple of blitzes chilling up here, managing to get a couple of metal extractors, not really doing too much more than that. And Shirakawa is in a pretty bad spot at the moment, needs more build power drastically, but also needs a ridiculous amount more energy. Having to build a lot of metal storages in an attempt to actually not excess this metal. Meanwhile, I would say that Enno is in a good spot here to go Tech 2, but instead doubling down on Tech 1, it seems. Having a Tech 1 vehicle and bot lab still, and air lab. Air is going to be pretty difficult for Shirakawa to get back into now with the sheer quantity of fighters that Enno has. Centurion trying to shoot down the fires. There's a lot of reclaim to be had here, though. And the fact... Oh my goodness, I've just noticed. The fact that Shirakawa has managed to basically cap this much of the map is just funny. And this kind of shows down here to position-wise, as we were talking about at the beginning of the game, is that Enno's position has basically forced that slow expansion. And if Shirakawa can re-get his energy sorted and stops excess in metal, they've got 13k in the bank. They just do not have any energy right now. They're going Tech 2. Kind of feel like they need to get their energy under control first. Also, this may have been a bit of a bad move here with the push into the Centurions here. Does manage to get some of the res bots. Now able to get flanking damaged on them somewhat, though. There's not that many left. Tech 2 has been built also by Enno, as we briefly switched camera over there. And actually managing to take out all those Centurions. 2 left, but they will die pretty quickly here. Oh. Unless Shirakawa does not go on them. Yeah, needs to spam out solars with the amount of energy that... the amount of metal that Shirakawa has. Going fusion straight off the bat. Again, maybe not the best play when you're stalling energy. There's a lot of energy required to build a fusion. Which is just going to delay everything even more. But they are building energy elsewhere, I guess. Like you can see, there's a whole bunch of solars up here and up here. And it's just all these fighters, and then a single aircon is just up here. Crazy. Absolutely crazy. Pressing stuff as well. Oh, Shirakawa actually applying some pressure of their own, taking out this forest of LLTs. Able now to get through if they continue this push, maybe able to get some additional damage. Some bombers, though, being prepped by Enno. And there is a lot of bot AA lying around here. And not only that, some stealth tanks, really? I have seen them snipe a commander before. Commander is in the ocean, though. They're just trying to sneak around without being spotted. Tigers now making their way onto the field for Shirakawa. The bombers also get spotted here. Very briefly. I don't know if they were necessarily paying attention to it, but it was spotted. And Enno about to lose a substantial wind farm. Bombers definitely spotted now. we'll see how far the bombers make it. All the fighters shot down. The fighters too far ahead of the bombers, if anything. Ooh, the stealth tanks did get spotted there by Resbots briefly. Did they get any bombs off? No, bombers did not make it through. Stealth tanks were spotted. Everything is going to try and find the stealth tanks. One gets decloaked. I thought this was just sat in the middle of the open. Oh. There would have been a notification there that said stealthy unit spotted. Another one gone, and now the rest of them are just trying to run down. But Enno losing this entire wind field at the back here. Both players now in strong Tech 2 phase. Although Enno has not upgraded his metal extractors. He's built a fusion and has not upgraded his metal extractors. That is a big fail there. It's got the comm is just idle. All the build power is idle. And yeah, that's not good. Bombers are trying to pick up some low metal extractors here, which is working, but seems a bit of an overinvestment. You could probably just send a blitz or something up there. None of these are really capped. Not capped, sorry. None of these are really contested with like an LLT or something like that. And now we see Shirakawa slowly pushing through the LLTs down at the bottom here now. Is there a resbot somewhere nearby? 7.6k of metal down here. And the stealth tanks have finally made their move. Although choosing to go for some general winds and solars here rather than actually focusing on anything specific. Looks like might have been a slight misuse of these. He could have snuck them round, got them like here, and then tried to insta-pop that fusion. Which would have happened with the amount that they had. But no, instead deciding to go for some general E damage. Now, you have to admit, Enno's base is very compact. Building heavy transports for some reason. What are all the heavy transports are for? You see all of that reclaim pretty much going to Shirakawa. The Centurion will march to its death, but before it does that, it will get two constructors. And these Centurions will manage to also deal with all of this expansion at the top. As I said earlier on, there's like barely anything there. There was two twin guards, which, you know, got dealt with pretty quickly. Bunches of single Tech 1 units here just being sent on fight moves to the back of Enno's base. A single stealth tank is still left alive as Tech 3 is planned from Shirakawa. Everything is in the red here very, very strongly. One of the biggest reasons there is Tech 2 metal extractors are being built by quite a few of them, 9 so far. Meanwhile, we see the Tech 2 comm of Enno is still idle. No metal extractors upgraded to Tech 2 yet, still. And because of that, Enno just does not have the metal, losing more and more metal extractors across the map as well. And it's basically now only a matter of time until Shirakawa overproduces, which they already are when you look at army value, and with Tech 3 on its way out as well. Moving the comm around in the air transport, why? Yeah, these balls will not be enough to stem this tide, especially when they're not being microed whatsoever. And there goes the fusion. Yeah, Enno not actually going Tech 2 Eco here. Really hurt their chances. They were doing very well with all of the Centurions. Maybe they thought I don't have enough metal to build both. But if that's the case, then like, don't build the Centurions and get your metal extractors up to Tech 2. Like, yeah, that complete wash of a factory now as Shirakawa just wipes the rest of the map, as the Tech 3 has just been finished. And the comm is now just exposed up here. Enno calls the GG. And some interesting plays by Enno.
Battle ended.
Enno really could have done a lot more with what they had available to them. When they dropped the air transports with the Centurions here. But firstly, they should have done that the first time, rather than going for the comm over here. Secondly, they just left them. They just had like 5 Centurions just sat there. Like, do something with them. Like, it managed to just not get anywhere near as much value. And then the same thing with the stealth tanks. I think the stealth tanks were the wrong option to begin with, but yeah, a lot of mistakes from Enno. Shirakawa obviously accessed quite a lot of metal that game, due to not having enough energy. So only thing I would say is they need to work on their energy production. They did lose a lot of energy production, to be fair, especially in this bottom corner, and from all of the raids. So to be fair, they did try and counter that with some solars elsewhere, wherever a comm was, but maybe a amphibious con could have built some titles in this pool. You did have vehicles, so that could have been an option. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you all next time.